I'm going to expose this huge secret about charge-offs and how you've been disputing them wrong this entire time. Stop disputing the balance on a charge-off. You've probably heard some amateur on social media say, the balance on a charge-off is not supposed to report. It's illegal. They must delete it immediately. It's not true. It's 100% false. And all it's doing is it's going to get them to update the item to be accurate and actually remove the balance off of a charge-off. And you need the balance to stay on the charge-off. You need to watch this video to the very end. I'm going to walk you through start to finish on how to properly attack a charge-off. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike the Credit Guy. I'm the owner and founder of Limitless Culture. We created the most advanced DIY credit management system in the industry. Our system allows you to take control of your credit, creating custom Metro 2 attack letters every single round, never using templates, for only $55.99 a month. Link is always going to be in the description. Now let's get into this video. You've probably also heard some amateurs say, oh, a charge-off, yeah, we could delete that. I want you to understand something. A charge-off is the highest level of delinquency on a credit report possible, besides a bankruptcy, of course. And this is why it is one of the most difficult things to delete off of a credit report. So if you ever hear a credit repair company ever say, yeah, man, give us 60, 90 days, we're gonna get that charge off your credit report, they're full of it. And you have to understand that you are in this for the long game. If you're gonna work on your credit on your own, you're going to have to understand that this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. And you're gonna have to go through the process, and you're gonna have to battle with the creditors and then the credit bureaus. The biggest mistake that people make is they go directly to the credit reporting agencies. The credit reporting agencies, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, that is the biggest mistake you're making. We need to go directly to the original creditor. That's who we want to go after, because that's where the charge-off initiated and that's where it started. You need to stop disputing specific attributes on a charge-off. Now, what is an attribute? An attribute is the first date of activity, the last date of payment, and my favorite, the balance. We need to make sure that we're not disputing that, because what we're trying to accomplish here, we're trying to delete historical information. This is huge. It is your report card of life. If this account before it turned into a charge-off was on your credit report for a year, 2 years, 4 years, some people I've seen 7 years. Now we're trying to delete this historical information. If we tell them what is wrong, the credit bureau has two choices. The credit reporting agency has two choices. Either update the item to be accurate or delete it. What choice do you think they're gonna take? Especially if this has a lot of historical data attached to it. They're going to update it to be accurate every single time. And if you get them to take the balance from an actual amount of, let's say, $2,500 all the way down to zero, you have diminished every single chance you have of deleting this charge off the legal way. This is not financial advice or legal advice, and I am not an attorney. This is for educational purposes only. If you have a charge off on your credit report, that means that the actual creditor, whether it be an auto loan, a credit card, a personal loan, whoever it may be, they are going to report this as a loss. There's two different types of losses that they're going to report. One is going to be a direct financial loss to the IRS, and people will actually receive a 1099 in the mail, usually between November, December, and then all the way up to actual tax season. Now, we don't know who's going to send them. We've seen specific banks do this more than others. But then there's the other type of actual charge-off status. That is when they're just going to mark it as a loss on their books, but they have not actually sent you out a 1099, and they have not reported it as a loss to the IRS. So those are two huge differences that you need to understand. You've probably heard a bunch of amateurs on social media say, they wrote it off as a charge-off. You don't owe them a dime. You don't owe the debt collector. That's not true. if it was actually written off properly to the IRS, you would have in fact received a 1099 because now the debt has been canceled. I want you to understand something very, very important here. If you did in fact receive a 1099, the debt has been canceled and the debt has been extinguished. Hear me clearly, that is a fact. I deal with consumer law attorneys all the time, and we talk about how exactly this happens, and a lot of consumers do not understand what to do with that 1099. We'll get to that more towards the end, but it's very important to understand if you have not received a 1099 from the actual original creditor or even the debt collector, then the debt has not been canceled and has not been reported to the IRS as a full loss. So we need to initiate contact with the creditor and get them to give us a 1099 and cancel the debt. Last part is the most important. We need to send a very simple letter to the original creditor, not the credit reporting agencies, not the debt collector, the actual original creditor. This is going to be a very simple letter. You do not have to put any UCC codes. Do not use any templates. You want to sound as human as possible. Did you know that the IRS physical branch locations in your local area, as soon as you walk through the door, they actually have a like button? No, they actually don't, but this channel definitely has a like button. Make sure you smash that like button and you hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get this channel to 1 million subscribers, and we cannot do it without you. All you have to do is type up a very simple letter. If you want to handwrite it, even better, because remember, we're trying to be like a regular human being. There's no stupid hack to this, okay? The hack is be a human. So we want to send a very simple letter and you say, hey, Mr. Creditor, it appears that this item on my credit report has turned into a charge-off, but I noticed you never sent me a 1099. Would you be so kind to send me a 1099 for a cancellation of debt of this item due to my financial hardship? I would greatly appreciate it. As you know, I've gone through a serious financial hardship, and this would help me with my credit in the future. Thank you so much. Sign your name, and you send it to the original creditor. Now, another big thing that you can do, you can email this to the CEO of the actual company that you're trying to communicate with, the creditor. You can go to ceoemail.com and look up the actual companies in the United States, whether it be Capital One, Chase Bank, whoever it may be. You can find their email there, and you can send this actual letter directly to the CEO of the company, and they will see it. So that is an even better situation to put yourself in, but you need to make it sound as human as possible so they can understand you went through a true financial hardship. If you're going to send a physical letter through the mail, you want to make sure that you send it certified mail at the minimum, but you really want to make sure that you do certified with return receipt so you know that a representative signed for it and they did in fact receive it, because you cannot trust the USPS. I'm telling you, we can send certified letters and it can say that they never received it. When I physically walked in there and I watched them scan it, they'll say, sorry, we haven't received your letter. But then the credit reporting agencies or the creditor actually received it. It's crazy. Return receipt makes it really solid, and it lets you know that they actually signed for it. Now, there's going to be people that are going to say, oh no, it turns into taxable income. It's a 1099. That's correct. It does, in fact, turn into taxable income. So let's say hypothetically, you get the 1099 in the first round if you get lucky. Don't expect this to happen right out the gate. That's not how it works. People are going to say, why didn't it work after the first round? We're trying to delete historical information. We're trying to convince the actual creditor to forgive you for this debt. That's what we're truly trying to do here. So understand, you may need 2 up to 4 rounds possibly. You're in this for the marathon. This is not no quick fix. So understand that if you get that 1099 in the mail, it could potentially happen around or before tax season also, and it does turn into taxable income. But there's something with the IRS called Form 982 of insolvency. Form 982 of insolvency is going to be for you to fill out, or your tax professional. I'm not a tax professional, but I know about this form very clearly, that it is going to show the IRS that your debts are much larger than your assets. More than 90% of Americans are insolvent. So you take your 1099, present it to the actual tax professional. They're going to get you to fill out some forms showing your debts versus your assets, and then they're going to present it to the IRS. It's going to be up to the IRS to approve it and actually wipe away this debt. Now, I'm not saying everybody's insolvent, so don't come for me in the comments. That's not what I'm saying. But if you do this properly and your debts are much larger than your assets, guess what? The debt is wiped away by the IRS because they cannot put another financial bind on you. And this is the whole purpose of the actual Form 982 of insolvency. Now you've received your 1099, you filled out your Form 982 of insolvency with the IRS, and the debt has been actually forgiven and you didn't have to pay for it. Now, what is your next step? The next step is now it is time to attack the credit reporting agencies that are reporting this charge off with a balance still on it. Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So now that the debt has been extinguished, it has actually been resolved and it's been canceled by the IRS. Guess what? The credit reporting agency is still reporting this balance. This is why we do not attack the balance, ladies and gentlemen, because the balance is our friend now. Now we actually have the opportunity to dispute this with the credit reporting agency. They should not be reporting this actual balance if you received a 1099 and the debt was extinguished. So all we have to do is send a very simple letter to the credit reporting agency, and you're going to say, hey, Mr. Credit Bureaus, you want to sound human again, remember this. I was looking at my credit report and this account looks weird to me. The last date of activity, the last date of payment, the account number, the account balance, everything on this credit item on my credit report looks to be incorrect. Can you please delete this item from my credit report because it is not accurate and it is not complete? I greatly appreciate you. Send a copy of your driver's license and utility bill. You're going to have to do this up to 2 to 3 rounds. This is the crazy part about it. But notice what we did. We did not tell them exactly what to fix because we don't want them to. We want them to leave the balance on there because we're building a case against them if they don't delete it. Then you're going to wait 30 to 45 days maximum after you sent your letter certified mail with return receipt, because we want proof that you sent it. Make sure that you make copies of all of your letters that you send to the credit reporting agencies because you're going to need proof. Save your little green certified things that you get from the USPS. That is also proof. Now, you probably got a letter in the mail from the credit reporting agency that says, yeah, it's been verified. Everything on this item is accurate, complete, and it belongs to you. You're like, I never told you it wasn't mine. That's not what I said. So we're going to respond to their verified letter. A very simple letter again, making it sound human. On such date, I sent you this letter. Send them a copy of the letter that you sent them. Explain to you that this item is not accurate and it's not complete. I want this reinvestigated effective immediately because this is negatively impacting my credit reports and I want it deleted immediately. Send it certified mail and wait 45 days maximum to see exactly what they're going to say. You're more than likely going to get another letter saying the item is verified, and guess what? We are not going to reinvestigate this item unless you can prove to us that this item is not actually accurate or complete. That's exactly how the credit reporting agencies operate because they are using the eOscar system. It is an automated service that is just scanning these letters and deciding what it wants to do. And you want it to do that because now you have built a case against the credit reporting agencies. They have not taken action because now you have your 1099 that shows that the debt is actually extinguished and paid and done for, because guess what? You actually got it filed with the IRS. Crazy, right? And now you have the credit reporting agencies that refuse to actually delete this item and they're reporting a balance, and that is a direct violation and you can now sue the credit reporting agencies. You need to make sure that you have all of your letters and all of your certifications showing that you sent it certified mail, copies of everything. You can reach out to my company at contact@limitlessculturegroup.com. Again, that is contact@limitlessculturegroup.com. Submit your information. Let us know, hey, I went through the 1099 process. I have all my documents. We'll review it and we'll get you to a consumer law attorney. Now, a consumer law attorney will take a case. They do not take any fees out of your pocket once you have a case established, and they will take their fees out of whoever they have to go after, whether it be creditors, debt collectors, or the actual credit reporting agencies. And you may be entitled to thousands of dollars worth of damages. Imagine that. I hope you enjoyed this video. We covered a lot. How to actually properly attack a charge-off on your credit report, build a case against the credit reporting agencies, and possibly win yourself some money. You just can't beat that. So I hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything else specific you want me to talk about, drop it in the comments section. Drop some emojis in there so we can get this video going, because we cannot do it without you. I cannot thank you enough. So thank you so much for watching. And make sure that you watch the next 2 videos because those are recommended by YouTube. And don't forget, subscribe to increase your credit score.